Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Spilly Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels. We are going back to that horrible world known as the JRC. But before we do the usual disclaimers, I'm going to be doing a couple videos tonight, so I'm not killing myself tomorrow trying to get the front load for the weekend. Folks, if you are unfamiliar with the Stop the Shocks campaign or the campaign against the troubled teen industry, you're going to find all the pertinent links right there in the description box. Please, in particular, take note of the article written by NeuroClastic, a small non-for-profit started by autistics for autistics. They interviewed over 900 ABA professionals in regards to the JRC's so-called Behavior Modification Program. The Judge Rotenberg Educational Center doesn't want you to read that article so much. They threatened NeuroClastic with a defamation lawsuit if they did not remove it from the website. NeuroClastic has refused, folks. You know the drill. Please read the article and share on all your social media. All right. So we got their public statement and we got the GoFundMe up there just in case. Trigger warning, folks, when we discuss places like the Judge Rotenberg's Educational Center and Agape Boarding School for Boys, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips of surveillance footage of people with mental health issues and disabled people being tortured and abused. If you got young children present, please utilize the headphones. Also, folks, trigger warning too, this channel is marked not for kids for a reason. We use profanity on occasion and speak on dark subjects. If your child is 16 and younger and they are watching this, very obviously, parental supervision is advised. Alright, folks, so where we left off last time. Let me see here. So I believe we did this response already. Yep, we did. Okay, let me get started where we left off. Sorry, folks, I'm tired. B. Evidence interpretation. Comment 4. Many comments state that the FDA's analysis for the proposed rule was thorough and well supported. Some of them characterize the evidence ban as strong and contrast that with the evidence for effectiveness of ESDs for SIB or AB, which they characterize as weak. So what we have, what we have, folks, is literally a commenter saying, by providing a strong contrast with all the negative, all the horrific things that the GED does to its students, this commenter doesn't think that that's good enough evidence to actually ban the device. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, I'm really tired, folks. Literally, what they are saying is they believe the whole thing is weak because the basis of the ban is in regards to the mental and physical damages done by the device. That's not weak. That's not weak at all. That is a very sound, strong, solid case as to why a device should be banned. If you have a device that is putting people into basically a catatonic state for like 2 months, that isn't weak evidence. To sit there and say it is a weak response because the decision was made based off the evidence is even more batshit insane. But let's go ahead and finish up for this video, folks. FDA agrees. As we stated in the proposed rule, FDA first conducted an extensive systematic literature review to assess the benefits and risks associated with ESD, as well as the state-of-the-art treatment of patients exhibiting SIB or AB. The issue is, folks, that in regards to the other peer-reviewed research in regards to electric skin shock devices, all of the studies that JRC has mentioned and used to defend their insanity, they are 30, 40, 50, 60, some damn near 100 years old. Okay? You know what I'm saying here? When you've got data that old, particularly data that does not mesh well now with the improved forms of treatment that is available out there for people with neurodivergent disabilities, you see what I'm saying, right? Number two, why that risk assessment will never be done outside of anywhere but JRC is because the medical community as a whole finds what they do at the JRC to be horrific. And they believe it would be a breach in ethics in order to conduct such a study. This should speak volumes, folks. It really should be speaking volumes. As we explained in the proposed rule, SIB and AB were considered in tandem, and these conditions presented individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities such as ASD, Down syndrome, and Tourette syndrome, as well as other cognitive and psychiatric disorders, and severe intellectual impairment, including the range to intellectual returns. The students encompassed both children and adults. We're going to cut it there, folks, and we're going to go ahead and do a new video for this, but for the rest of this, excuse me. But what are we seeing here is an individual who believes that the data is not wide enough. They do not believe it is evidence enough to prove that we don't need these insane devices in order to torture the disability out of us. Unfortunately, we do not live in that world because if they're not going to torture you physically in all the other 49 states, they will damage you psychologically speaking as soon as they start pushing ABA. You get what I'm saying, right? What the FDA is saying here is the reason why their data may look insufficient is because it is. And the reason why that is so is the data presented comes from far, far and long ago outdated studies. No one in the current medical model at this time has ever consented at any point in time in order to conduct a non-biased study with a controlled group because they believe it's unethical because it is. You are talking about a medical model that grifts off autistics and other neurodivergents every year. Okay? I'm going to close on that, folks. We don't get very many views on this channel. The few that we do tend to get removed from time to time. So please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe, and don't forget to utilize the comments. I appreciate your time this afternoon. And as always, folks, we here at Spilling Tea do hope you have a good one. I'll see you in a moment.